Good evening, and welcome to Body Manor. I am your host, Wadsworth, and I have a few reminders for you before we start our game tonight. First, please silence your cell phones. Refrain from flash photography during our performance. Next, there will be a 15-minute intermission where you will be directed to restrooms, concessions, and the Performing Arts Committee Kiss the Cast fundraiser. Finally, please consider recycling your programs after the show to save paper. We thank you for joining us this evening and ask that you sit back, relax, and enjoy Clue.
McCarthy's shrieking denunciations and fear-mongering have created a climate of fear and suspicion across the country, raising the question in households across the nation, who are the un-American Americans amongst us?
Any man who has been named by either a senator of a committee or a congressman is dangerous to the welfare of this nation.
President Eisenhower refuses to engage directly with McCarthy. In a letter to his brother, however, Eisenhower explains, as for McCarthy, only a short-sighted or completely inexperienced individual
Yvette?
would urge the...
Monsieur, I didn't hear you come in. You frightened me half to death.
Wouldn't want to do that. There are so many better ways to die. Please, turn off that noise.
Time again, without apology or evasion.
Is everything ready?
Oui.
Good. Cook!
You called, sir?
Everything on schedule.
Dinner will be ready at 7:30. Sharp.
Ah, right on time. You have your instructions.
Oui.
Very well then. Let the game begin. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm not sure I'm in the right place.
Yes, indeed, you are expected, Colonel.
How do you know who I am?
It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that is not my name. My name is Colonel...
I believe that it's been recommended that tonight you use a pseudonym.
Oh, no thank you. I took a antihistamine before I came.
May I take your coat?
I suppose.
Not to worry, Colonel. It's just the maid in the hall with the champagne cork.
Champagne.
Don't mind if I do.
This way, monsieur.
Of course. Are you expecting anyone else?
Indeed, I'll be with you in a moment.
Follow me, Colonel.
With pleasure, my dear.
Do come in, madam. You are expected. Welcome.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you are a socialite to be known this evening as Mrs. White.
Well, yes, it said so in my letter. But why?
Mrs. White, may I introduce you? This is the maid, Yvette. I see you two know each other.
We've never met.
Champagne.
I think not.
Please, warm yourself in the lounge.
Why? Do I look cold?
A bit.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Pleased to meet you.
I'm rarely pleased to meet anyone. More?
Oh, yes.
Bonjour, madame. Please come in from the rain.
Mrs. Peacock, I presume.
Who? Oh, yes, that's me.
Cook, will you please take Mrs. Peacock's stole? I see you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen her before in my life.
Champagne.
My lips belong to the Lord.
Please make yourself comfortable in the lounge.
Thank you. Oh, and for your hospitality, there's a couple of Benjamins and another box of caramels for you.
How sticky.
I expect to be treated like the great wife of a...
Hold that thought right this way. After you, Miss Peacock.
Oh my, look at the detail of this molding. This is quite a magnificent mansion, isn't it? Who are you?
Welcome to the party.
This is turning out to be quite the crowd.
Is this the right address to meet a Mr. Body?
Sit!
No, not you, sir.
Sorry.
Please come in.
Excuse me, I suppose this letter has me rather anxious.
You must be Mr. Green.
Yes, that's exactly who I am.
Welcome, sir.
Oh my, this isn't at all what I was expecting.
I find that if you expect nothing, you're never disappointed.
Oh, I'm not disappointed,
One moment, sir. Good evening.
Please arrive at 7:30 sharp on Saturday evening. Well, here I am,
Professor Plum.
if you say so.
Well, and I thought I'd seen everything.
Miss Scarlet, welcome. I didn't realize you and the professor were acquainted.
Or not. The bridge is washed out from the rain, my car broke down, and this professor offered to give me a ride. I didn't realize we were headed to the same place until we arrived.
And how was your drive?
It's a long haul.
Indeed, it is a long haul, but then it is a very large house. Right this way.
Say, what is this godforsaken place anyway?
This old place. Oh, this is Body Manor. Appetizers in the lounge, after you.
Hors d'oeuvres. Good, I'm starving.
funny. I haven't much of an appetite at all.
My, this really is a party.
Greetings, all. It's a pleasure for you to see me. Cocktail hour.
There are so many of you. I didn't realize
Right,
that-
good then. You're all here. Colonel Mustard, present. Miss Scarlet, Mrs. White,
Yes.
Professor Plum,
Right.
Mr. Green,
That's me.
Miss Peacock.
How do you do?
Greetings. I'm Wadsworth, the butler. Tonight, as you may have surmised, nobody's being addressed by their real names. A courtesy your host has provided to ensure your absolute privacy. I suggest you follow in his lead and refrain from revealing too much about yourselves this evening, for you never know when... dinner.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'm a little bit clumsy, I suppose.
Dinner? That was more like cocktail minute.
Mr. Wadsworth, you were saying you never know when, what?
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 This way, please. We really oughtn't keep her waiting. Cook can get cranky. Ladies and gentlemen, follow me. The dining room is right this way. You'll find your names beside your places. Please be seated.
Does anyone see my name?
Oh, Mr. Green, you're next to me.
You see my name? It's wonderful, isn't it?
No. Miss White, you're next to me.
Thank you.
This spot at the head of the table. Is that for you? Indeed, no, sir. I don't sit. I'm merely a humble butler.
What exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
Dinner is served.
Thank you, cook.
Well, what's all this about, Butler? This dinner party?
Ours not to reason why, ours but to do and die. Die? Merely quoting, sir, from Alfred, Lord Tennyson.
I prefer Kipling myself. Do you like Kipling, Colonel?
Sure, I'd eat anything. So, who is our host? Is this where he sits?
All in good time, sir.
What's the smell? It's something familiar.
Shark's fin soup?
Oh, my favorite.
I know. Bon appetit.
This is delicious. This is yum, yum, yummy, yum, yum, yum. Like, well, I guess I'll get the ball rolling. I'll break the ice. I'm used to being a hostess. It's an integral part of my life, being a great wife of a... Oh, I forgot. We're not supposed to say who we really are, but I have no idea what we're doing here. And oh my, this soup is just delicious, isn't it?
I know who you are.
You do?
I work in Washington too.
Washington? So you must be a politician's wife, Miss Peacock.
Yes, I am.
Who's your husband? Maybe I know him.
He's... Miss White, you've been awfully quiet. What does your husband do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, he just lies around on his back all day.
How lazy.
Not necessarily.
Sorry. I'm afraid I'm a little bit accident prone.
That'll be $5, mister.
Sorry?
Mr. Green, what do you do in Washington?
I'd rather not say. I like to follow the rules.
Well, if I wasn't trying to keep the conversation going, we'd be sitting here in embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Miss Peacock?
Yes, no. Why?
In my professional opinion, you suffer from what we call pressure of speech.
Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
In psychological medicine.
Do you practice?
Not anymore. I now work for the government.
Another politician.
Not exactly. I do research for you-know-who.
Who?
A branch of the United Nations organization, the World Health Organization.
Oh, you know who. It's an acronym.
Oh, I have a sister who is a gymnast.
Did you think I said acrobat?
Isn't that what you say?
You are a real colonel, aren't you?
I am, sir.
Aren't you going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C., Colonel?
How did you know that?
Oh, I've seen you before.
So, Miss Scarlet, does this mean that you work in Washington too?
Sure do.
Does anyone here not work in Washington?
Oh, then, is this about the Red Scare?
I'm not a communist. I'm a Republican.
All right, Wadsworth, we've had about enough of this. Who's our host, and what does he want with us? Speak of the devil. Pardon me, please.
Hey, I've got an idea.
Oh, yes, good thinking, Miss Scarlet. What are we doing?
The acoustic coupling between the door and the glass allows sound waves to travel from one side to the other.
What?
Guests have arrived as expected, sir. Everything is going according to plan. We'll meet you in the study.
Do you hear anything? Shh. What a lovely door!
This is nice.
All right, here we start.
You're playing
Oh, for goodness sake, Butler, I demand to know what's going on. Who was at the door?
May I interest you in any fruit or dessert?
No!
Well, in that case, may I suggest we adjourn to the study for coffee and brandy. At which point, I believe our newly arrived host will reveal his intentions. Your letters will be explained, and the game will be afoot. Thank you, Yvette. That'll be all.
We miss you.
Well, where's our host?
He's not here. Nobody's here. What is going on?
Cigarette? It'll calm your nerve.
I do not smoke.
For Wadsworth, open after dinner. It's for you.
Right. Good then. Are you comfortable?
I make a good living.
Oh, out with it, Wadsworth.
Ladies and gentlemen, these instructions are clear.
I'm glad something is.
It seems the 6 of you received the same letter. It will be to your advantage to be present on this date because a Mr. Body will bring to end a certain long-standing, painful, and confidential financial liability.
He wants us.
As it turns out, you all have something in common.
That tyrant McCarthy. We're being blacklisted, aren't we?
Close, Colonel. You're all being blackmailed. For some considerable amount of time, you've been paying more than you could afford to someone who threatens to expose you.
Oh, please. What could someone blackmail me for? I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, lady. Don't we all?
Anyone else wish to deny it? Until you'd received your letters, you hadn't known who was blackmailing you. But now, I'm sure that even the least discerning amongst you have determined that the man behind your ransom is Mr. Body himself.
Who is this body fellow, you brutish butler?
Who Mr. Body is none of your concern. Suffice it to say, he's a supporter of the House of Un-American Activities Committee, and he feels your activities have been decidedly un-American.
What's wrong with having a little fun?
My task this evening is to expose your wrongdoings to each other, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
But we hardly know each other.
Precisely.
Don't you think that you might spare us this humiliation?
I'm afraid I have no choice. We'll start with you, Professor Plum.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
It says here that you were once a professor of psychiatry, specializing in pathological lying lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the U.S. government.
So your work has not changed. But you can't practice medicine anymore, can you? Your license has been lifted, correct?
Why? What'd he do?
Well, you know how male doctors aren't supposed to date their lady patients.
Yeah.
What he did.
Oh, how awful! You know someday there'll be a reckoning for men like you.
I hope so.
Me too.
You are disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Miss Peacock?
Well...
How then do you justify taking bribes in return for delivering Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing sinful about that.
Not if it's publicly declared. But if you slide cash under the stall door at Old Ebbitt's Grill, how would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
When were you in the men's room?
So it's true.
No, it's a vicious lie.
But you've been paying the blackmail for over a year to keep that story out of the paper. Seems a little sticky, no?
Now,
Well, I'm willing to believe you. I too am being blackmailed for something that I didn't do.
So am I.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed.
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
And what did you do?
I run a non-governmental agency that handles classified affairs.
affairs? In Washington?
Is that how you knew Colonel Mustard works in Washington too? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking Miss Scarlet.
You tell him it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Aha, so it is true.
A double negative.
Double negative. You mean you have
photographs. Sounds like a confession to me. In fact, the double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look dumb in front of the other guests?
You don't need any help from me, sir.
Exactly.
Looks like you hold a sensitive security post at the Pentagon, Colonel. Those negatives would certainly compromise that position.
And what position exactly were you caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage.
Let's see, who's next? Mrs. White. You've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died of, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Say what you want. I didn't kill him.
Then why were you paying the blackmailer?
Well, I don't want another scandal, do I?
Another?
We had a very humiliating confrontation. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he want to kill you in public?
I believe she meant that he threatened in public to kill her.
It was all over the papers.
And yet, he was the one who died. Not you, Mrs. White, not you.
Well, he was found dead at home, unclothed. His head had been cut off, and so had his, you know. But I didn't do it. I'd been out all evening at the movies.
What was showing?
The Naked Alibi.
A likely story.
But he was your second husband. Your first husband also disappeared?
Well, that was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never reappeared.
Well, he wasn't a very good illusionist.
And lastly, Mr. Green, who is...
I don't need you to unmask me, Wadsworth. I already know what you're going to say about me.
And what's that?
Mr. Green, who is a homosexual?
Oh, not me.
Beg your pardon?
You asked who is a homosexual, so I said not me.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Colonel.
My pleasure.
But there's more to it than that, Mr. Green.
How do you mean?
There's evidence to support the question of your politics.
My politics? Since when has working for the Republican Party been a crime?
You swore an oath of allegiance to the Republican Party, yet neglected to vote for Eisenhower in the last election. It's grounds for an ousting if ever there was one.
But voting records are confidential.
Everything needs its price, Mr. Green.
So there you have it.
Have what?
A crooked senator's wife, a lascivious doctor, a disloyal Republican, and so forth. We're not exactly adhering to an all-American standard of living now, are we?
Depends on who you ask.
But if this body fellow is such a noble citizen himself, then why doesn't he report us to the authorities?
And give up the opportunity to make a buck. Come now, Professor. What could be more American than that?
Apple pie.
All right, Wadsworth. So we're being blackmailed by a renegade McCarthyist. Where does that leave us?
Where is this Mr. Body?
And what does he want with us?
Who cares? I'm not waiting to find out. I've done nothing wrong, so I'm leaving.
I'm sorry, Miss Peacock, you can stay in denial, but you cannot leave this house.
I am the wife of a great senator. You cannot tell me what to do. Move. Locked?
That's right. All the doors are locked, the windows are barred, and the grounds are being patrolled by vicious dogs. There's no way out.
I'm too old to die. You can't do this. This is misogynistic.
May I introduce you to your host for the evening and your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body.
How do you do?
What?
Better off dead.
Oh, Mrs. White can study with her knee.
Thank you. I've studied martial arts.
There is one more piece of information you may like to have.
What?
The police will be here in less than an hour.
One of the military. Unless
Unless what?
you agree to double down.
And why would we agree to that?
Because if you don't, I'll put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings into the hands of the police, the press, and the House Un-American Committee. With the right twist, those fellows know how to make a commie out of anyone. I think some of you will be facing a lifetime of jail, and others a lifetime of shame.
I'll have it head for this.
Unless
what?
Well, there's something you can do for me. Something that would change the game. Something I just can't bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please. I guess I'll just...
So much dust.
over here.
Let's get together. Let's get together.
Are you okay?
What's this about, sir?
I have here 6 packages that I think I guess might find useful this evening.
Packages?
Presents, if you will. I'm a generous sort of fellow.
Are you?
Wadsworth, would you please see to it that each guest receives a gift?
Gladly.
I love receiving presents from strange men.
I love presents. The last gift I received was divorce papers.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm sorry.
Where's my gift?
That's yours.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to make a guess as to what's in their boxes?
Perfume.
Candy?
A rare single malt scotch whiskey?
Aren't guessing games fun? Please, open them.
A candlestick? What's this for?
A hammer. Oh, it's a wrench. A lead pipe.
A dagger?
A revolver.
It's a snake. Oh, no, it's not a snake. It's just a rope.
You each show in your hands a lethal weapon. You all came here tonight because you believe the evidence against you was so terrible, you would do anything to keep it a secret. I'm putting that theory to the test.
You are?
You see, Wadsworth here is the only other person who knows about your secrets, and it's costing us all dearly to keep them quiet.
How do you mean?
I would have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Wadsworth for silence.
Wadsworth?
That's a lie.
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you?
but really he's conniving and manipulative.
False!
Why do you think he's called the police?
You called the police?
Only because he instructed me to.
Did I? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to get rid of Wadsworth, I'll have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to police.
Get rid of?
Does he mean kill him?
In fact, if you can, eliminate Wadsworth,
Yes, I think that's what he means.
who not only knows all of your secrets, but also mine. I will eliminate your blackmail altogether, and we can be done with this terrible business once and for all.
You would never. But why make us do it, Body? Why don't you do your dirty work yourself?
Why should I, when the six of you are so uniquely motivated and armed?
What? A patriot.
After all that I've done for you. He's lying. I'm no butler. I'm one of you. I'm an indentured servant.
A familiar refrain. Don't make a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. Now's your chance. The police are on their way. The only way for you to end your blackmail and avoid seeing your faces on the front pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth now!
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Get off me, I'm not even your type. Is he breathing?
Stand back! I'm a doctor. He's dead.
Who had the gun?
I did.
So you shot him?
I didn't!
If you didn't, then who did?
Somebody grabbed it out of my hand, and the next thing I knew, there was a shot.
But there's no gunshot wound.
He's right. There isn't.
Look, there's a bullet lodged over there.
Put Eagle Eye with Scarlet.
If the bullet's over there, then how did he die over here?
I don't know. I'm not a forensics expert.
Something else must have killed him.
One of us must have killed him.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't do it.
Why are you looking at me? I need a drink.
Maybe Mr. Bradley was poisoned by the brandy.
Poison!
Oh, sit down, Miss Keith. That's deep breath. Sit up once. Hey, just don't worry about it. It was just deep breath.
Well, somebody had to stop her screaming.
Was the brandy poisoned?
How should I know?
Looks like now we'll never know.
Unless she dies too. The screams are coming from the billiard room. It's locked. Who's in there? Who's screaming?
Say what?
Yvette?
Free!
Yvette, are you all right?
No!
Yvette, are you alive?
Of course I'm alive, you idiot! No thanks to you, Wadsworth. You locked us up in this house with a killer.
So the killer is here.
We?
Where?
Where? Here! We're all looking at him. Or her.
What took you so long?
I am an old woman who may, or may have not, been poisoned. It's amazing I'm anywhere.
I heard you on the study. One of you is the killer.
And how'd you hear us in this study?
I was listening. Have a tape recorder in the billiard room connected to the study. Monsieur Body asked me to record your conversation.
And why would he ask you to do that?
For more evidence, of course. Wadsworth revealed your secrets in this study, and now they're all recorded.
What a snake! I must destroy them. Where are the tapes?
Who cares about the tapes? What about the body?
Body? What body?
Body!
But Yvette, why were you screaming in there all by yourself?
Because I was frightened. I also drank the cognac. Maybe I am poisoned too. But one of you is the killer. Monsieur Body is dead.
We have to figure out which one of them did it.
What do you mean, which one of them?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, one of you must have. I would have killed him myself, but I didn't have access to a weapon.
Don't look at me. All I had was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Who else could it have been?
Who else is in the house?
I know the cook.
The cook!
As far as I can tell, the cook's not here.
What a lovely little kitchen. You know, my husband and I had something very similar to this in my first brownstone. It is such a homey...
Someone must have killed her.
I didn't do it!
This makes two.
Two what?
Murders.
I hate murders!
Wadsworth, I think you better explain yourself.
Me?
Who else would want to kill the cook?
Dinner wasn't that bad.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
Some defense mechanism. If I were the killer, I'd kill you next. I said if. There's only one admitted killer here, and it's not me. It's Miss White.
I've admitted nothing.
You paid the blackmail. How many husbands have you had?
Mine or the woman's.
Yours?
5.
5?
Yes, just the 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex, soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if it wasn't you, who was it? Who had the dagger?
It was Miss Peacock!
Yes, but I put it down.
Where?
In the study. Any one of us could have picked it up.
I still have the
Still didn't have a weapon.
Well, if it wasn't any of you, then it must have been Mr. Green.
Where?
Oh, there he is.
Can somebody please help me?
Good Lord, let him off.
You really ought to learn to speak up for yourself better, Mr. Green.
Oh, my lord.
Gentlemen, might I suggest we take the cook's body into the study?
Why?
Well, for starters, if the police arrive and they find this, we'll be taken into custody and under suspicion for murder.
Murder?
Secondly, I am the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
You're barely carrying anything.
Yeah, sure. Where?
The body's gone!
What are you all staring at?
Nobody.
What do you mean?
No. Body. No. Body. Mr. Body's body. It's gone!
Maybe he wasn't really dead.
He was!
But we should have made sure.
I thought I had!
Well, was he dead or wasn't he?
Maybe he was dead, but then somebody moved him.
Who would move him?
And why?
How should I know?
Well, if he's not here, then where is he?
Oh my, all this excitement. It's just, is there a little girl's room?
Oui, madame.
No. I just want to powder my nose.
There's a toilet outside the billiard room.
Thank you.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but we do currently have the small pressing issue of 2 dead bodies, 1 missing and 1 present, and the imminent arrival of the police.
The bridge is washed out from the rain. That should buy us some extra time.
But I don't want extra time. I want the police to arrive. I'm trapped in this house with a killer.
But once the police arrive, the rest of us are doomed.
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that there's no one else in this house?
No.
So there is someone else in this house.
Sorry. I said no, meaning yes.
No meaning yes?
Yes.
Look, I just want a straight answer.
Don't look at me.
Is there someone else in this house? Yes or no?
No.
No, there is, or no, there isn't?
Yes.
There seems to be some confusion about whether or not we are the only people in this house.
There isn't.
There isn't any confusion, or there isn't anybody else?
Either.
Both? I just want a clear answer.
What was the question?
Is there someone else in this house?
No!
That's what he says, but does he know?
Look, there's a killer on the loose, the missing dead body of Mr. Body, a cook with a dagger in her back, and all these easily accessible weapons. The rope, the revolver, the candlestick, the wrench, and... Where's the lead pipe?
Stand back! He's dead.
That's what you said the last time.
I believe in second chances.
Mr. Body, dead again?
I'm gonna faint.
Don't worry, I'll catch you. Oh, sorry.
Mrs. Peacock.
Yes!
Where did this happen?
In the bathroom! When I opened the door, he fell on me and I thought he was attacking me. But then I realized someone left him propped up against the door, waiting to fall on someone.
Who would do such a thing?
I don't know.
It takes a lot of guts to kill someone twice.
It's what we call overkill.
But why?
What's the difference?
Makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We need to figure out who killed him, where, and with what.
It seems to have been the lead pipe, Mr. Wadsworth.
10 points, Professor Plum.
Ooh, what game are we playing?
This isn't a game.
You! The lead pipe belonged to you!
Yes, but I dropped it when we were running to the kitchen.
But people don't just drop murder weapons!
I didn't know it was a murder weapon when I dropped it.
So anyone could have picked it up.
Yes. But who did pick it up? Who did pick up the lead pipe? Who picked up the lead pipe and brutally murdered Mr. Body, leaving him dead and bloodied on the ground? Who did that? Who?
Cool it, Butler. While you lose your marbles, I'm over here trying to do something useful. Have you all forgotten about the evidence against us?
The evidence!
Body's briefcase is locked.
Well, there must be a key.
Mr. Green, would you be so kind as to check Mr. Body's pockets for the keys to the briefcase containing the evidence of our crimes so that we can destroy said crimes and evidence once and for all? Why me? Why not? Oh, all right.
Where'd you get that?
I don't like germs.
Or fingerprints?
No, it's mostly just germs. Oh God, he's so warm.
Put your back into it.
I got it, take it.
It's empty.
Empty? Then where's all the evidence? I told you Body was a liar. Evidence in his briefcase, my foot.
Must find that evidence.
And destroy it.
Look, all evidence against us aside, we're in a room with 2 dead bodies.
And the cops are on their way.
Exactly. I say we take the bodies and prop them up on the couch to make them look dead.
No, I'll not
Some
be helping.
party this is turning out to be.
Help me, Monsieur Green.
Oh, okay. No, careful, don't get guts on the ground. I was planning to.
Solid battlefield technique, Professor Plum. Never leave a man behind.
Cadavers are heavier than they seem, aren't they?
I wouldn't know.
Right, me neither.
Prop her up. Aren't you all strong and virile?
Good. Just like asleep.
Forget about the bodies. We have to do something about this room full of murder weapons and the homicidal maniac on the loose.
I know. We'll put the weapons in the bag.
What good will that do?
Well, we'll zip up the bag.
Most murderers know how zippers work, Wadsworth.
I know that. Well, we'll put the bag in the safe.
Terrific. Where's the safe?
In the hall.
I don't see a safe.
Is that an original painting, Mr. Wadsworth?
Yeah, those are quite valuable.
Now is not the time for art appreciation.
A safe hidden behind a portrait. How original. But what are you going to do with the key, Wadsworth?
I'll put it in my pocket.
But, what if you're the murderer?
I'm not.
But what if you are?
I know. We'll throw the key outside.
Oui, à l'extérieur.
But it's raining. I'm next to you.
I'm not suggesting we go outside. I'm suggesting we stay inside, but throw away the key.
But you'd have to go and open the door, right?
I would.
But what if the murderer is outside?
Better out than in.
Yes, but we want to keep them outside. If we open the door, we risk letting them back in.
But maybe if we open up the door, then we'd encourage the killer to be going out.
The killer seems to be doing a fine job of opening and closing doors all by themselves. I don't see how us opening the door for one tiny second could possibly make any sort of a difference.
But what if we take the key, open the door, and throw it outside, and the killer is outside, and he catches it? Then the killer would have the key we're trying to confiscate.
We might be overthinking this. I'm going to throw away the key. Follow me.
This house is hardly
Ready?
Right, just go.
That concludes Act 1. We will have a 15-minute intermission. While you're in the intermission, you can go outside to have some snacks and go buy Kiss the Cast kisses and roses. Thank you.
Was that the killer?
He didn't look like a killer.
It takes one to know one.
Believe in me, interrogation is my specialty. Good evening.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb the whole household, but my car broke down out here and I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Are you a killer?
No.
Oh, all right. This way, please.
Thank you. Well, where's it?
What? The body?
The phone. What body?
Body. There's no body. There's no body.
Right. There's nobody in the study.
No, that phone's been disconnected. No, but I believe that there's a phone in the lounge.
Alrighty then.
Right through this door.
Thank you.
All right, listen up. Task is twofold. 1, find the evidence. 2, find the murderer.
There's one suspect in the lounge, but that leaves the rest of the place up for grabs. Who knows what's behind all these doors?
I say we handle this in proper military fashion. Split up and search the house.
Split up?
Into pairs. That way, none of us will be alone.
But whichever one of us gets paired with the killer may be killed.
Mon Dieu!
Yes, but then we would know who the killer is.
But then the other half of the pair would be dead.
This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelet without breaking an egg. Any cook will tell you that.
But look, what happened to the cook?
Are you willing to take that chance, Colonel?
What choice do we have?
None.
Guess you're right.
All right, troops, divide and conquer. I'll split us into pairs. Eeny, meeny, miny.
No. Mrs. White, you're with me. Professor Plum, you're with Miss Peacock. Yvette, you're with Mr. Green. And Miss Scarlet, you're with Eeny Meeny. Now.
But what if somebody doesn't come back?
We'll remember you fondly. Now, leave no door unopened. And cherish your partner. They may be the last person you ever see.
Go on. I'll be right behind you.
That's exactly why I'm nervous.
But why? It's just us. We're alone.
That's just it, Mrs. White. No man in his right mind would ever be alone in a room with you.
Fine then. You go in there, and I'll go in here. Are you going in?
Yes, are you?
Yes.
All right. On the count of 3. 1, 3.
Nothing in that room.
Nothing in that room either.
Shall we search the ballroom?
After you.
Quite an impressive library.
How am I supposed to find evidence if I have no idea what I'm looking for?
Civilized societies perpetually menaced with disintegrations through this primary hostility of men towards one another.
Your fancy words do not intimidate me, Professor.
I take no credit, Miss Peacock. Freud, I think he's on to something.
Now is not the time for academic pursuits. We're supposed to be looking for evidence.
It's a fruitless search if you ask me. I mean, it's not like we're gonna walk into a room and find evidence plastered all over the wall.
I suppose you're right.
Come on, let's go upstairs. Maybe we'll be excited by something in the bedroom.
I haven't been excited by something in the bedroom for years.
I'm a little nervous. I'm at that big house on the hill and I've been locked in the lounge. I didn't expect there to be a whole group of people here. I think I'm having some sort of party. And the funny thing is, I think I was my customer. Yeah, a regular Tuesday night passenger.
Oh, there you are.
You'll never guess what I found in the hall. Professor Plum's stupid tobacco pipe.
What do you suppose it means?
Who knows, but it seems suspicious if you ask me.
I just did.
Honestly, Colonel, this is the last room left to search in this beastly mansion, and we still haven't found the evidence.
I think this time has been productive nonetheless.
Aren't you, Pollyanna?
You're a brave and determined lady, Miss Scarlet. I hope after all this ends, we can remain friends. I mean, really, murders aside, it's been a lovely group all in all, and I suppose I would like to hear Miss White explain when and how she lost her veil in the billiard room.
Wait, you found White's veil in the billiard room? Odd.
Odd?
Odd.
Ooh, flowers.
A trapdoor! A trapdoor leading to a secret passage, come on!
Ladies first.
How heroic.
Where are we now?
How should I know? The lights are off.
Well, turn them on.
I would if I could see anything.
I'm gonna feel my way around.
Do not get any funny ideas.
A table?
A telephone,
A chair?
a body, a
Body?
Open the door!
Get me out of here!
Over here!
Let us out! Let us out! We can't let you out. The door to the lounge is locked.
You had the keys, Wadsworth. You locked the motorist in here.
That's right. I did. I do. I don't. The keys are gone.
Gone? I have an idea.
Please get us out of here. There's a murderer on the loose.
There's no alternative. I'm just going to have to break down the door. Stand back. I'm a doctor.
Stand back, I'm a woman!
Somebody, please help What was that? What was that?
What happened?
There's murder. Oh,
The door's open, you can come out now.
why were you shooting at us?
To open the door!
could have killed us.
I said stand back.
Let's add finding the key to the lounge on our priority list.
Say, Frenchie, where'd you even get that gun?
The safe, it was unlocked.
Unlocked? Impossible! I have the key! I don't. The keys are gone.
Gone? Again, not to beat a dead horse, but I really think having all the keys is really important.
I thought you said you'd thrown away the keys to the safe, Wadsworth.
I did say that. But I didn't do that. We got distracted when the motorist arrived at the door and I must have forgot. One of you must have snatched the keys from my pocket when we were searching the manor.
So whichever one of us has the keys is the murderer.
Precisely.
Speaking of the murderer, there's a dead body in the lounge. The motorist is dead.
All right. Which one of you killed them?
We found them together.
Oh, and he was already dead. But the door to the lounge was locked.
We went through a secret passage we found in the conservatory.
Secret passage? Who designed this place?
The Parker brothers. Maybe if we hide, they'll go away. Shh. Quick, hide the gun. Don't worry. It's not the police.
It's the police!
I'm going to answer it.
No!
Not. It's the decent thing to do.
Open the door!
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, officer. We've been expecting you.
You have?
We haven't.
I got a tip about an abandoned car near the gates of this house. Did a motorist stop by any chance?
No.
There seems to be some disagreement. At any rate, can I use your phone?
No. Of course you can, officer. You can use the one in the lounge.
Out of order.
My mistake. You can use the one in the study.
No. Occupied.
If you please, officer, there is a phone in the library.
You're all acting rather peculiar.
Yes, well, it's because our chandelier fell down.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, it could have killed us, but don't worry, the maid will clean it up.
That's all well and good, but what's happening in the lounge and the study?
You know, lounging, studying. This way.
Actually, let me have a look.
No.
What?
What? This way.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take a look.
Oh my god, okay. Let me take you on a grand tour of Body Manor. This home was built by Lord Reginald Body in 1784.
We have to cover our tracks and get rid of this guy.
This way. Lord Body had been declared Lord Body after somebody discovered an antibody that would save everybody. Notice, the mahogany floor! Oh, yes! Did you know that in the 17th century, the buccaneer John Esquelming recorded the use of mahogany for making canoes? Can you canoe?
What? Hey, where'd everyone go?
Notice, the doorknobs. Crafted specially for Lord Body by his buddy in 18...
I don't care about doorknobs, mister. What's going on around here? What are you hiding in those two rooms?
Which two rooms?
The lounge and the study.
Oh, yes, those two rooms.
Yes.
No! Officer, I do not think you should go in there.
Why not?
Because it's all too shocking.
Hello, these are welcome to the party.
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Bye, officer.
Pardon me.
Good night, officer.
Good night. That wasn't all too shocking, mister. Those folks were just having a good time. Why didn't you tell me it was a party?
My apologies, officer.
If you don't mind, I'll take a peek in the lounge.
No, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Excuse me.
Good evening, officer.
Is this man drunk?
Dead drunk.
Want a sip?
Oh, no, I can't drink in the job. The chief would kill me.
Killed if you do. Killed if you don't.
What?
Have a lovely evening, officer.
Same to you.
Goodbye.
Well?
I can explain everything.
No explanation necessary. There's nothing illegal about any of that.
There's not?
Of course not. This is America, and that was the pursuit of happiness. At any rate, can I use your phone?
Certainly, officer. The library.
Thank you.
Right this way. All right, you can come out now. That was very well done. Impressive, all of you.
All
right. I locked him in the library.
How'd you do that? I thought you didn't have the keys.
I didn't have my right pocket keys, but my left pocket keys are still intact. Now, we must find the evidence. The police are on their way.
But the police already came.
Not the broken down car police. The criminal investigation police. Precisely. They'll be here at any moment. This is getting dangerous. We cannot afford to have any more murders. Now go!
Hello? Power outage. Must be the storm. Yes, this is... Are you still there? Hello? Is this phone even working?
Hello? Who turns out the lights? Hello? Ah! You scared me. I thought you were the killer.
Did someone cut the line? Hello?
What's that in your hand? Did you find a clue?
Oh, good. You can hear me. I'm telling you, Chief. I rounded up this abandoned car and wound up at this old mansion where all the lights went out. I'm telling you, Chief, there's something funny going on around here. You see, they're having some sort of party and you'll never guess who I just saw.
What happened to the lights?
I can't see anything.
Mr. Green.
Excuse me. Oh,
I saw this on the show.
Nice.
Miss White, is that you?
Probably not.
Come
think I
here,
found the
my
switch.
best friend. Let there be light.
Do you hear that?
It sounds like a telephone's off its hook.
And it's coming from the library.
That must be where the killer is.
I'm going in.
But aren't you afraid?
Of course.
Of what? A fate worse than death?
No. Just death. Excuse me. Mr. Cop? You alright? Do you need assistance? A phone book, perhaps?
Listen, Copper. The butler asked you a question. Now hang up that phone, or I will.
We should be safe here in the billiard room.
I don't feel safe.
I can't relax.
Having around a pool to pass the time.
That sounds like a great idea. Da 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 da. I am your singing telephone.
What was that sound?
Oh!
What?
Look!
Oh! Three murders in 3 minutes.
That's our best record.
3 murders.
6 altogether.
The cook, Mr. Body, the motorist, the cop, Yvette, and the singing telegram girl.
But who is the murderer?
Ain't that the million-dollar question?
Sometimes the most obvious answers are right under our noses. I propose the best course of action is to retrace our steps. It started like this. At the start of the evening, there was thunder, lightning, the dogs barked. Ding dong! Colonel Mustard. Ding dong! Mrs. White, who noticed Yvette. Da-da-da-da-da. Then, Mrs. Peacock, who noticed the cook. Then, Mr. Green. Woo, 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 sit! No, not you, sir. Please, come in. And then, Professor Plum.
Miss Scarlet.
And then, dinner is served. Dinner? That was more like cocktail minute. To the dining room! Shark's fin soup? Oh, yummy, yum, yum, my favorite! Then Mr. Body arrived, and we all went into the study.
Coffee? Brandy? Who is this Mr. Body Butler?
How do you do? He had me pass out the packages.
Ah! A snake!
No, it was a rope. Then Mr. Body switched off the lights. Now. Mr. Body was dead, but not really. He was alive, but we didn't know it. Then Mrs. Peacock drank from his drink. Poison! Well, someone had to stop her from screaming. Then we heard. To the billiard room! But Mrs. Peacock joined late. I'm an old woman who may or may not have been poisoned! Then Mrs. White asked, who else is in the house? To which we all replied, the cook! Who we found knifed in the back!
Oh my god. Oh, it's so gross. Oh, blood, germs. Can somebody please help me?
I suggested we take the cook's body into the study. But Body's body was gone. Then Mrs. Peacock entered with the body of her body because Body had been bludgeoned in his bean. Then the briefcase! Empty! That's when the motorist arrived. Are you a killer? And I locked him in the lounge. Dead! Then the unexpected cop arrived. You know, you're all acting rather peculiar. Can you canoe? Dead! Then the maid was strangled in the billiard room. Dead! Which brings us to... I am dead! Bang! And here we all are.
Alright, go! What performance!
But what is the truth?
Nothing! Well...
Enough of this! I know who the killer is.
You do?
I do.
Well, we're listening, Miss Scarlet. Who do you accuse?
It was Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
Liar!
We all heard the gun go off, Professor, and I found your stupid tobacco pipe here in the hall when we were searching the house. When'd you drop it? Huh? When you were scoping out the best vantage point to kill your next victim? I bet that poor singing telegram girl was one of your old patients, right?
I never met that girl in my life. It isn't true. You've got to believe me.
Well, the gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Are you surprised?
Well done, Wadsworth!
You can't prove anything if you're all already dead.
That may be so, Professor Plum. But if we're alive... Officers, there's your man.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. I'm Hank Cuff, Chief of Police, and Professor Plum, you're coming with me.
But that's not how it happened. It happened like this.
Professor Plum, we're listening. Who do you accuse?
It was Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench.
I never lounge.
I found your Medal of Honor in the lounge where the motorist was killed by a wrench to the head, and that wrench belonged to you.
That's a lie.
Well, the wrench is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the wrench is the murderer.
Huzzah!
Well done,
done, Wadsworth! Officers! There's your man, not a kernel of truth in him.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. I'm guilty verdict. Chief of Police, Colonel Mustard, you're coming with me.
You have it all wrong. It happened like this.
Whoa. We're listening, Colonel. Who do you accuse?
It was Miss White in the billiard room with the rope.
I'd rather die.
I saw your veil in the billiard room and saw how you cringed when Yvette served you dinner.
Yes, I knew Yvette. She had a torrid love affair with my late husband. I hated her. I hated her so much it flames. The flames on the side of my face, breathing, heaving, breathless flames. Lots of them.
Okay.
But just because I hated her doesn't mean I killed her.
Well, the rope is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies.
Well done, Wadsworth!
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Mark my words. Chief of Police, Mrs. White.
It happened like this.
The room's spinning.
Mrs. White, who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger. I saw your feather by the corpse.
Gentlemen, turn out your pockets.
Well done, Wadsworth!
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said. Yes, well,
I'm
I'm
saying
saying
it
it
now. I'm Barry D. Hatchett, Chief of Police.
But that's not how it happened.
It happened like this.
It was Miss Scarlet in the library with the candlestick.
You can't do this to me.
Frankly, Miss Scarlet, I don't give a damn. But really, it happened like this.
Stop.
I know who the killer is. You do? I do. It's all of you.
Freeze!
Nobody move, you're all killers.
You can't prove anything, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm not Mr. Wadsworth, I'm Mr. Body.
How can you be Mr. Body if Body's body bled all over me?
It wasn't Body who was bleeding.
Well, Body wasn't Body. Who was he?
He was Wadsworth, my butler.
But if you're the real Mr. Body, what was the point in dragging all of this out?
Well, when you started murdering people, I decided to roll the dice. See if you'd self-implode. Kill off my entire network of spies and informants. Which you did splendidly, by the way. Generously leaving your fingerprints on every glass doorknob and dead body. Now, I have each of you on the hook for murder.
Murder?
Bribery for petty crimes is one thing, but murder, that can get expensive.
But why this whole charade?
The searching of the house, the retracing of her steps.
It's all part of the game.
Game?
Yeah, I'm relaxed now, you see. Now that you've killed everyone off, there's no evidence left against me. I've got off scot-free.
But the police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this.
What's so funny?
Nobody's called the police, have they?
They were never on their way.
Now listen up, you reprobates. We're gonna stack the bodies in the cellar, lock the cellar door, and leave Body Manor one at a time, and forget any of this ever happened.
I can't forget all this.
With murder on the menu, the price of blackmail just tripled. Forgotten. Now move!
Wait a minute. We can all rush him. He's got no more bullets left in that gun.
Oh, come on, you think we're gonna fall for that old trick?
It's not a trick. There's one shot at Mr. Body in the study, 2 for the chandelier, 2 for the lounge door, and 1 for the singing telegram girl.
That's not 6.
1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
There's only one shot at the chandelier. So that makes 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Even if you were right, that would be 1 + 1 + 2 + 1, not 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Okay, fine. 1 + 1 + Shut up! Point is, there's only 1 bullet left in this gun, and whoever moves is gonna get it.
So you're just gonna keep on blackmailing us and we're supposed to pretend that none of this even happened? So you're just gonna keep doing the things that you just said you were gonna do?
Of course! Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Larry Goodman, FBI! The jig is up.
Or is it?
Missed me.
You're FBI?
Apparently, I'm a dead ringer for Green. He got a letter just like each of you, but he came to the Bureau to ask for help. I took his place tonight so we could have a sting operation.
Some sting? 6 people died on your watch.
I normally work the desk.
Obviously.
My beat is property crime. You know, theft, fraud. That's why I was so tickled when the real Wadsworth risked his neck to drop off a whole briefcase worth of evidence last night.
Wait, you've had the evidence this whole time?
It's all here. Miss Scarlett's books, including names of customers and employees, justifying why she killed the cop, who's listed here on her payroll.
Give me that.
And what's next? Ooh, a love letter addressed to Professor Plum.
That's private property.
I don't care what my father says. That singing telegram girl was the teenage daughter of the head of you-know-who. Who would have come clean to Daddy? Who would have cleaned out Professor Plum? So you killed her.
Now see here.
And these negatives, Colonel. And these negatives, Colonel. And these negatives, Colonel. Quite the regular at Miss Scarlett's establishment. Bet you couldn't be a colonel anymore if that motorist informed your general where he drives you on Tuesday nights.
I was just lonely.
Shoot. Shark's fin soup indeed, Mrs. Big. Too bad your old cook couldn't keep her mouth shut. Maybe if she hadn't blabbed about your briberies, you wouldn't have killed her just before joining us outside the billiard room. Now we know what really took you so long.
Circumstantial evidence will never hold in the court of law.
But this notarized letter from the cook will. And, Miss White, you weren't lying, were you? You really did hate Yvette.
Flames. Flames on the side of my face.
We get it. Here's a container holding fingerprints collected at the scenes of your previous murders.
I never murdered my husband's.
Fingerprints I'm sure the FBI can match those on the noose tied around Yvette's neck.
I wore gloves.
Gloves? You mean bees?
Put your jacket back on.
And last but not least, Mr. Bobby Body.
It's Robert.
Now, you didn't hate Yvette at all, did you, Mr. Body?
What's it to you?
Illicit green card love affair is just the icing on the cake on top of this whole FBI file. An FBI file on the whole Body family. Your butler, the real Wadsworth, has been feeding us information for months. Talk about a real American.
Ah, he was British.
You know what I mean. I can see why you'd want to kill him. Twice. Your shot missed him in the study, but he wisely played dead. It wasn't until later, when you caught him trying to escape, that you bludgeoned him to death with a lead pipe I dropped on my way to the kitchen.
I mean, seriously, who drops a murder weapon?
I didn't know it was a... The Body family has been wanted for organized crime for generations, but they've always eluded the law. Until now. Tonight, the whole Body business comes to a dead end.
You leave my family out of this. Ow! Ow! Why would you? Ow! Oh, Larry! Oh, Larry! It hurts! Oh, Larry! Hold me, Larry! Hold me, Larry! Ow! Oh, goodness! It's so dark! It's so... Second wind! If I'd known that you were coming, I'd have baked you a cake! Ow! Oh, goodness! Oh, it hurts! Oh! I can see the light. Oh! It's so bright! It was like a dream. It was like a dream. And you were there. And you were there. You were not there, Mrs. White. Oh, take me away, sweet death. Yes, here it goes. I'm going. I'm gone.
He's dead.
No, I'm not. Smile when your heart is breaking. Smile. Ow! Oh, God. It hurts. It hurts so much. It hurt. Ow! Ow, Larry! 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 Larry, come here. Come closer, Larry. Come closer. Close to me, Larry. Not too close. Ah! Larry! Now. He's dead.
I tell you, this is the most exciting night I've had in a long time. And now, you're all under arrest. Officers, here are the criminals we've been looking for, and you'll find the tape recordings of the confessions we've been waiting for in the billiard room.
The tapes! Alright, who done it?
She did!
They all did. But if you're wondering who killed Mr. Body, it was me, Special Agent Larry Goodman, in the hall with my gun.
Well done, Goodman!
That's what he said.
And that's how it really... Sorry. Okay, Chief, take him away. And now, I'm going home to sleep with my wife.